So Highlander here again. Well, I say again, but it's been a while. I just thought I'd have a little talk about some of the things that have happened, and they're all gaming related because this is still a gaming related channel. But so if you don't have pickups, then it takes a little while to collect enough material to make an interesting video, unless I want to make something really specific about a certain new game or whatever. So, but I picked some stuff up. One thing, and I have some other things. Let's just kick it off. One of the things that that has brought me the most joy is the new graphics card that I bought. If you're not into PC gaming, it's not gonna, may not mean anything. But I bought a GeForce GTX 1080 Ti. Now, this is not the newest graphics card at all. But it is a lot faster than the one that I had, and it allows me to run Elite Dangerous the way it was supposed to run. So I can switch the graphic settings to Ultra even in VR, and it'll run just fine. So that is a great thing. Now, I had to sell some stuff. So I had my old stereo set sitting here collecting dust. It was, at the time, a really high-end Pioneer set that I sold to Mark, Lacto. I mean, mates rate stuff, but because I wasn't going to move the thing. It was an amp, it was a DVD player, and a CD player. All really, really nice stuff. It was one of those surround sound systems. Let's get some water. But it was collecting dust. Reasons. I had a set of speakers connected to it, but it being a surround sound system, they have to be all connected, and I was unable to connect one of the speakers for the longest time, and it just sat there. So I sold it. Again, mates rate. Perhaps I could have sold it for more. I don't know. I don't think so. I did sell the speakers online, which in essence was good for the money, but it was a big hassle because, I mean, it sold within a day. I had to take them off the walls and I had to clean them, but they sold within a day, and the set was so big that I couldn't find a box to ship it in. And since I had made a deal with the buyer that I would take care of the shipping costs, and it wouldn't fit into one shipment, and I didn't want to make it 2 shipments, I decided to bring it to him. Which is risky, I know now, but it turned out well. The risk is that, it wasn't so risky because I decided to bring it, but when there are scammers out there who want you or who will bring you the stuff, and if you pay with cash, you as a seller, you run the risk of receiving counterfeit money. But I'll get into that in a minute. I sold the speakers. I took the initiative to bring the speakers to the guy's house. I drove an hour to a part of the country that is supposed to be a very welcoming and friendly and hospitable, and this guy didn't even offer me a glass of water. What he did do was check each speaker individually to check if it worked, and I can't hear the tweeter. You're probably deaf, asshole. Anyway, in the end, I spent like 20, 30 minutes there waiting for him to determine whether or not the speakers were good, and they were. And he wired me the money, which I could see immediately on my phone that I'd actually received the money. So that was good money. I cobbled together some stuff, and then I went to buy a 1080 Ti. But then you run the risk of buying a used... You can only buy used 1080 Ti's right now. But you run the risk that they are, they have been used in a Bitcoin mining rig. And they run those cards like full on for months, non-stop, and they heat. And the 1080 Ti is a card that runs fairly hot, and by the time that they sell it may still work, but it may artifact or it may conk out after a short time. So I ran a risk here. The guy was we had a bit of a barter and a bit of a discussion about how much the thing was gonna have to cost, and I ended up trading in my 970, my previous graphics card, and I think I was lucky. I went to the guy's house. It was a complete mess, but he was obviously into building and selling PCs. That was his thing, and he offered to test the card with me there, and he tested my card, and it was legit. I think you can never be 100% sure, but the card is in my system now, and it works fine. And it's the Inno3D one. The thing is, this is an NVIDIA based card, but there are several manufacturers who make NVIDIA based cards. You have MSI, and you have whatever. This is an Inno3D one, and this is supposed to be very quiet, and it is. I don't hear it. It has two fans, and sometimes you can buy a card, and as soon as you crank up the graphics, it can start hoovering the room. It's a really they can be really loud. This one isn't loud. It's warm though, but it's not loud. And I expected it to be warm. But again, I can run Elite Dangerous in VR Ultra on it, and it's fine. It's perfect. So that's one thing that happened. I bought a new graphics card. I could have wrapped that up in one little sentence. If you're not into PC gaming, then it may not be so interesting to you. But upgrading your graphics card can help a lot in taking the load off your CPU and doing all the anti-aliasing and post-processing and all the lighting and all that stuff. And the faster your card, the more memory your card has, the more textures it can store, the quicker and better your graphics will look, and your system will be able to handle it. If the rest of your system is up to the task as well, you can't put a lightning fast graphics card in it and expect 100% of its capabilities if you put it into a low-end system, because the system won't be able to keep up. But mine, by now, I think will, and apparently it does, because it's pretty good. So that has brought me a lot of joy. Now, this brings me to my headset, my VR headset. I have the Pimax headset right now. Oh, here it is. The Pimax headset right now, which is still a recommended headset because it doesn't demand a lot of processing power for some reason, less than the Oculus DK2 that I also used to use in Elite Dangerous. This thing has no screen door effect. When you have, basically in those VR sets, you have a tiny screen pressed up to your eyeballs almost, and you will be able to see the pixels, and which is called screen door effect. You can notice that when you want to read a very small print in game, you won't be able to because of that. You have to move your head around, and then you'll be able to see what it says. It's not comfortable. The Pimax solves that problem. They just do differently. Some vehicles, like the Ford vehicles, have windscreen heating. You know, you can see the little wiggly lines in the windscreen. That's sort of what this is like. You can see wiggly lines, but they don't interfere with any of the in-game stuff. So it's actually a very nice headset. It wasn't expensive. It doesn't have a tracking device that it needs to, you know, detect where your head is. The only downside to this thing is that it works based on magnetometers. So it's got tiny devices inside it that will measure where the Earth's magnetic field is, and it will work out where north, south, east, and west are. But what you get over time is drift. So I'll be playing Elite Dangerous, and very slowly, without me noticing it, it'll do like this. It's like it's turning with the rotation of the Earth or something. And then I'll find myself looking or sitting in a certain direction. If I keep doing that, I'll be turning my chair. So I have a button in game that will reset my position, and I'll be straight again. But I'll have to do that like 20 times in a short game session. So and I'm familiar with that because all the magnetometer-based head tracking systems suffer from that. The ED tracker device that I have on my this one, see that little box there? That is the ED tracker, which also tracks my head movements. Great little device, but magnetometers. So, and then I noticed a guy on Twitch using the Oculus Rift S. And the Oculus Rift S is a VR headset that you connect to your computer. There's also the Oculus Rift Quest, which doesn't connect to a computer. I suppose I don't know, you use it with your phone or something. But the Rift S has tracking cameras on the outside of the headset. And it will measure and read your environment, like the edge of your screen or the edge of a cupboard or your whatever. And it will detect the position of your head like that. So there will be no drift. Also, the Pimax has only 4 degrees of freedom, right? So I can yaw and I can pitch and I can roll, but I can't go forward or backward. It won't detect that. Also not in game. So with the DK2, I would be able to look down the side of my chair. The Pimax doesn't do that because I can't go I can't go sideways. So the Oculus Rift S can do that, and it doesn't have a tracking camera because it has a. So I decided this thing was perfect. I want it. It's 450 euros new in the store. You can get it for more, but who does that, right? So 450 euros, but we have the great marketplace website, Marktplaats. Wonderful site. I've used it for years. I've used it for 14 years, and I have been in a discussion about a game that I bought one time. Now, and I vaguely remember being scammed out of 8 euros a long time ago, but I don't really remember the details of that. So it's been pretty safe. You can, when you see an ad, you can see information about the seller. You can see how long they've been online and how quickly they respond to messages, whether or not their phone is verified, whether or not their bank account is verified, all those things. You can see that. So I've been looking at this Oculus Rift S, and there were a lot of offers from 200 to well over 400. So I'm thinking, you know what? If I get some money together again, by selling some stuff, maybe I'll be able to afford a cheap one, like around 250, maybe 300 mark. Okay, we're gonna stop the story there, right? So I have in my cabinet here a bunch of PS1 games. One of those is Castlevania Symphony of the Night, which I bought once for 70 euros. off a guy in Germany. It's the PAL version. It's the European version, so it has like a 4-language manual: Spanish, German, Dutch, French, I believe, or English in there. I'm not sure even. Anyway, I've had that game for years now. I've seen it go up in price, up and beyond the €200 mark. And I'm thinking, this game has been sitting in my cabinet here. I have an electronic copy. I can play it on the PS3. I can play it on the PSP as an unlockable game. I haven't even tried it. I love the concept of Castlevania, a Symphony of the Night. I loved having it, but seriously, I thought, that's cash sitting in the shelf there, and once in a while, if I remember to look, I say, oh yeah, I got Castlevania Symphony of the Night. So I'm completely out of love with collecting video games for the reason of having them. I don't play them. So I play games, but collecting like full sets or even partial sets or having certain games, really, I cannot be bothered anymore. I have the hardest time spending my money on video games now, because every game I see, I'm thinking, why should I buy this? Unless it's something that I really enjoy. I mean, I'm going to buy the next Elite Dangerous paid edition. I know Ninja Games are coming out with a new game that I might be interested. Oh, it's going to be a Hellblade 2. You know, that's a really peculiar kind of title that I'll be interested in having. Maybe Shadow of the Colossus, even though I have that on several platforms and I don't play that. Anyway, I came to the decision, I'm going to sell my Castlevania game for as much money as I can, and then use that money to buy the new headset. Smart idea, huh? So this game has been sitting in my my cabinet here for years. So I put it on eBay, and right away I get a message from a guy from Spain. Hey, I wanna offer you €200, but you have to pay the shipping. So I'm thinking, well, that's something that I would normally accept. I mean, it's a good price, but this is just like, I don't know where this auction is going to go, because I put it up as an auction with a buy me now. So I thought, why don't you just press the buy me now? And no, he wanted to do it not through eBay, and I just thought, no, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna damage my reputation with eBay, because I read up a little about that, and I was very friendly to the guy. I said, well, thank you for your kind offer, but I'm not gonna accept it right now. I'm just gonna wait, and I set the auction for 10 days. Well, the auction is 10 days, and my offer is only valid for today. So I don't get pressured into buying or selling stuff. Really, if someone comes up to me and you can buy this, but you have to decide now, no, forget it. Wait, I got a message. Oh, okay. Unimportant. So I don't get pressured into shit. If it's the greatest offer in the world, there's always a catch. If it has to be now, there's always a catch. So forget it. Sell it to someone else. I don't want it. So it sat there for 10 days. And I started sweating it because nothing happened. I got views, and 5 people saved my auction, but nobody bid anything. Now, I realize how this works, because all of the snipers, they get in at the end of the auction. I get that. I do that as well. So I was really thinking, or hoping that it would sell. At this time, I have to say, bad timing on my part, but I was on a trip in the UK. I was in Somerset with my friends near Taunton. The Greyhound Inn. If you're in the UK, if you're in Somerset, look up the Greyhound Inn, and you'll have a great stay, great food, nice beers. Plug. Go there. I got 200 euros, and that was including the shipping. And I was going to make sure that because it being a PS1 game, I made a little container for it. I made it out of cardboard and wood, and I put screws in it and all bubble wrap, and it went in a box, and that thing was going to be fine. And it has been. Nothing, as far as I know now, is it's still underway at the time of filming this. But the guy paid immediately. I had $200 in my account. Great, and I couldn't help on the day of us leaving from the UK. After lunch, I checked my phone and I saw an Oculus Rift S on Marktplaats on offer for $250 from a guy who had an account that was valid for 14 years, remember? And he responded pretty quickly. None of the other verifications I know now. I lost money. That's the punchline of this story. I lost money because I made a mistake. Anyway, I offered the guy the asking price, $250, 250 euros. Sure, fine, you can have it for that. Almost immediately. So thought, great, because really I expected him to say, well, he offered it for $250. Maybe he was going to wait a while, but he jumped on it. He said, okay, let's do it. Okay. So then I asked, do you accept PayPal? No, he didn't accept PayPal. He just wanted money from a regular Dutch bank, which sounds okay, but it's actually bullshit because if you're on the receiving end, it doesn't matter where it comes from, right? So, but I thought, oh, okay, no PayPal. PayPal for me is a buyer's protection. If I never receive anything, I can go to PayPal and say, hey, I never received anything. And I asked him, because he had it on pickup only. Now a scammer will make use of shipping fraud to cheat you out of your money, but he had pickup only. So I had to ask him, do you mind sending it? No, sure. What's your address? So he may have made a small mistake there, but anyway, I fixed it for him, right? So I gave him my address, and then I asked him for a payment request. Now you can send a payment request through the Marktplaats system, which will allow me to pay money to a depot, and he'll have to ship the stuff to me. And if I say I have it in my hand, then he gets the money. But he didn't use that. He used a different, well-known and accepted among friends a way of paying, which is called a tikkie, right? If you go out to dinner and you want to share the cost, you can send your friend a tikkie, and they'll, with a few presses, you'll be able to pay you back. So he sent me a tikkie for $250, and I accepted it immediately, which was dumb. I had to fuck around with my phone a while, so while I was paying, he asked me, have you paid it? Have you paid it? Is it done? So I finally said, yeah, it's done. Idiot. He said, oh, great, I'll send it right away. And then, I was all happy. I thought, yes, I have my Oculus Rift for $250. Great. And I paid it with my PS1 game. Cool. Later that day, like an hour, I now know exactly how it works because I'm going to get to that as well. I exactly like an hour later, I got a message from Marktplaats saying, well, you've had communication with the seller, but we've found him to be fraudulent. So we've removed his account and we've removed the ad. That's like the standard Marktplaats way of protecting buyers by removing false ads. So I turned white. I thought, fucking hell, I've just paid money to this guy. The message is too late, way too late, and I was too quick. Fucking hell. But also in my message box, I saw that someone had overbid me. I had apparently bid 250. I was overbid by someone who offered 500. Now that's more than the new price, right? It's 450 in the store. So I'm still thinking, well, this guy who sold it to me, he was trustworthy because he was so long. He had such a an old account, 14 years, and maybe the overbidding triggered Marktplaats to say, hey, this isn't right. So sort of talking to myself, thinking, yeah, it's going to be fine. Usually if you ship it on, we left on a Saturday, if you ship it on that day, it'll arrive by the next Tuesday. So I went a couple of days thinking, nah, I'm fine, to going, oh, fuck, I've been cheated, oh, I'm fine, no, I'm cheated. Anyway, Tuesday comes and goes, and nothing arrives. So on Tuesday, by 4 o'clock, I'm thinking, nope, I've definitely lost my money. So I filed a report with the police with all the details, but I'd been looking on websites for this guy's name, for this guy's bank account number, which I had because he sent me this information. And actually, on my bank statement, it says that I paid $250 to this guy. And I found a person, a well-known scammer with his name. I just couldn't be sure that this guy is the actual guy that took my money. They share the same last name, and the guy I have his Facebook profile. I could put a link in the description of this video. I will do that. I will put a link to this guy because I'm 99% sure that this is the guy. There's some people who've been scammed by that guy on Facebook and his wife. They don't share the same bank account number, but the coincidence is too great. It's not a very common name, right? So I decided to just send him a message. Hey, I've been scammed by someone with your last name, and he used this bank account number. Is this your bank account number? Just play dumb. He didn't respond. But I learned enough about him that I was able to recognize his false ads on Marktplaats. Because he just kept adding new ads for the same device to Marktplaats. And I can tell from his writing style, there's some very specific things in there that he keeps doing exactly the same. He keeps using the same names. He keeps using the same places that he lives. When you offer shipping or when you offer pickup on Marktplaats and you pick a place that's like really remote, 99% of the people are going to say, or at least 80% of the people are going to say, that's too far for me. Would you please ship it? Great opportunity for fraud. So he uses two towns and he uses variations of his own name. They're very easy to detect for me. And I have this standard search. And every day he puts up two at the same time every time. And I can see them. The price level, the way he describes, his name, the play, everything. I know his MO, right? I know his way of working. So, and I have the opportunity of blocking. I cannot block. I can alert Marktplaats to a fraudulent or an expected fraudulent ad, and they will respond within an hour, saying, okay, they'll remove the seller and they'll remove the ad. And I've been doing this weekend, last night, today even. He just keeps going. Every time he puts up two ads, I flag them. After an hour, they're taken down. And then a little while later, poof, new pictures. He just steals pictures somewhere. And he makes a variation of his name again. He probably thinks he's pretty smart. And every time that happens, I send the guy on Facebook a message as well, like through Messenger. I went through all of his friends. They all look like criminals. They're all unemployed or self-employed. They all look like scum. I've never seen a collection of scum being friends with one person. That many. So it's a real cesspool of shit down there. Anyway, I kept sending him messages, being mindful of the fact that I didn't know 100% sure if that was him. And he never responded. Until last night, I had 4 of his ads removed, and all of a sudden this morning I had a message from him. I'm not the guy you're looking for. I don't even have a Marketplace account. Would you please call me on this number? So I'm sitting there thinking, I don't want to call this guy. And then I'm thinking, wait a minute. If it's not the guy, why should I be calling? What would we have to talk about? Is he going to apologize for his namesake? For his... If it is the guy, why would I call him? I just want him to send me my money back. I even went so far as to transfer 1 cent from my account to his account just to send him a message. Like, son of a bitch, I want my money back. That's how this much has grabbed me. This has grabbed me by the throat. I wake up thinking about this. I go to sleep thinking about this. I've been scammed by an idiot, it appears. That's the thing. That how can a stupid person like that be smart enough to trick me into paying money? It's never again. So I'm thinking about this. I'm thinking, what am I going to do? I'm going to check this number out. And the number, through Facebook, I get to some Facebook group that has a name. Use this number. I think, oh, okay. And now I have a name with the number. I click the name and I see a picture of the Facebook guy's wife. I've seen her as well. Wife and daughter. And apparently it looks like it's like her ex or something. And he's blocked me on Facebook, so I can no longer send him messages. So I'm pretty sure that this is the dude, right? I've got him. All I don't have is his address. What gets me about this, of course, I've lost money. It's my own fault. But how well protected the scammer is. He's protected by the law. He's protected by the banks. He's protected by the all of the sites where you can make reports. Marktplaats protects him. Everybody protects the perpetrator. I've lost $250. Yes, I've been stupid. So it's my fault. But there's nothing to keep me from scamming other people other than my own decency. Because you're well protected. You're the most protected person ever. I hate that. It's not right. Maybe he's had a very bad youth or something, but he has a daughter. You know what I'm thinking? Is he capable of looking his young daughter, she's like 6 or 7, his young daughter in the eye, and is he able to tell his daughter what her daddy does to get money? I steal from people, honey. Or does he have to lie to her? No, I work very hard for my money. And if you have to lie to your daughter, what kind of a man are you? What kind of a person are you? What kind of a stupid fucking idiot? Anyway, I'm not gonna stop. I've done this before. Once before. Oh, I had a scam. I had another scam. When I bought my PS3, I went for it for 6 months. For 6 months, I chased this guy. I communicated with him. And in the end, because I knew where he lived, I checked the address. I saw that there was another person living there because I knew his name and these were different initials. And I sent a letter to what I perceived to be his father. Now, he was Turkish. And in Turkish culture, like, honor is more important than in mine. So I kind of hinted at, well, it's not very honorable what he did, is it? And I casually named all the lies that he told me to not, because he sold me a PS3 that didn't work, basically, which I found out on the first day, and he lied to me all the way from then. So I sort of repeated all the lies, and what do you know? Within a couple of days, he contacted me. I'm sorry I lied to you. I will send you your money back. Please send me my PS3 back. So I did, and I had my money back. It took 6 months, but I got him. This is a tougher cookie. This guy is a tougher cookie now. But I'm going to put a link in the description. You'll immediately see, you know, this guy's not right. He's unsavory, unsanitary. He's an asshole, and he stole my money. That's the deal. I'm going to get my money back. Don't you worry. Yeah, because I filed a report with the police, and the police, if they have enough cause, then they're going to press charges, and then my case will be part of that, and I may have a chance to get my money back. I don't know how, but I'm going to pester this guy. At least I'm going to be the one killing his fake ads every day. Every day. It's not going to work. Every day I'm going to be there. I've been so confident that this is the guy that I'm sending him tickies back, right, for that amount that he stole from me, as a response to his ads, because I can send him a message, and I know it's him. I know it's him because he doesn't respond to my messages anymore. I'm having fun, but also it's costing me. Anyway, enough of that. I've been scammed out of money. How about that? I have a new graphics card, though. I'm gonna get a new Oculus Rift. I'm just gonna have to sell some more stuff, or maybe you can donate to me. You know, I have a PayPal link in the description, people. You know, if you feel that finger itching, you know, if there was ever a reason, charity, guys. It's all charity. You don't have to pay me money, you know. But I just thought I'd mention it. I'm gonna get some money together again, maybe sell some stuff. I went to the UK and I went to a CEX, and I've had Kirby's Epic Yarn for the Wii on my want list for ages, but it's too expensive. I don't want to spend the money. And all of a sudden I walk into CEX and there's 3 copies, £10 each. And I'm thinking, this is it, you know, I'm going to pick one up. But I was standing there thinking, really? Because I have an ISO of the game. I can play it on my hacked Wii. Do I ever play it? No. So what's going to happen? I'm going to put it on the shelf. I don't even look at it. So I didn't buy. I didn't buy. So and that's going to be the new me. I'm going to start selling stuff. Although I'm afraid to, because of all the scammers. Right at the moment, I see scammers everywhere. So I don't know. Was there anything else that I wanted to say? No, I don't think so. No, I'm just gonna leave it at that. I've held you here long enough, and we're gonna set you free. So thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.